I graduated from college in May during a pandemic. Unemployed in my parents' house, bored out of my mind, I had nothing to do but obsess about the future. When I found out I was going to be moving to Waseca, my dad immediately started looking at houses in the town. "Oh, it's so cute," he would say, while browsing the old houses on Zillow. The first time I visited Waseca, we pulled off of Highway 14 onto Elm Street. You pass the classic staple of any small town in Minnesota, a quick trip, and more importantly, a lake, with geese surrounding it and a little island in the middle of it. My whole life, I have lived in the bustle of the big city, marked with skyscrapers and traffic. I couldn't believe I was moving to a town within walking distance of not one, but two lakes. Loon Lake and Clear Lake hug Waseca. They hold it close and wrap their beauty around it. During my listening tour of Waseca, I interviewed over 50 people. While saying that it was an interview gives me way more credit than what it actually was. We met at Lush Cakes and in Mistres Flores and at parks. We talked on Facebook and over the phone. The conversations had a loose structure. What I wanted to talk about was what they wanted to talk about. There were lots of competing ideas. Waseca is a really welcoming community, one person pridefully mentioned. I've lived here for 27 years, and I still feel like an outsider. People were proud of their schools, or they had a really bad experience there. Some people love the lakes surrounded by the bike paths. Some people can't imagine living anywhere else, already thinking about which home they want to retire in. Some people are waiting to retire and are going to run away to somewhere warm, an island bigger than the one on Loon Lake. One idea that kept coming up over and over again, as if the town had rehearsed the speech before anyone even agreed to meet with me, is the past that influenced Waseca today. In 2004, E.F. Johnson, a top employer for over 80 years, closed its doors, causing more than 100 people from Waseca to lose their jobs. In 2016, the historic Grandstand baseball field was burned down in an act of arson. In 2017, Quad Graphic, formerly known as Brown Printing, closed. It employed over 750 people. These moments and the impact they had on the identity of a community is inexplicably large. Like so many small towns, this is the narrative that has been prescribed. This is the inevitable destiny. One woman in a beauty parlor could not understand why a young, single person like me would want to live here. When I told her that I actually lived with my boyfriend, she said, "Well, then you might stay. Waseca is a great place to raise a family." My job every day is to wake up and go to work to fight against the closures, the perceived inactivity, and the idea that this small town is dying. That's my project scope. That's the wicked problem Waseca faces. Luckily, my enthusiasm knows no bounds. I love this community even when lots of people in media try to tell me I shouldn't, or that there's no point. The more I get to know it, the more it's true. I love the contemplative librarian, the ardent historical society director, the art center director with a story made for a TV show, the music store owner with a laugh that carries me away, the administrative assistant in my office whose presence feels like a hug. As my favorite author said, towns are made out of people in the end, and I have come to love a lot of people in this one. Success doesn't look like leaving them for the city that already has literally thousands of young political science majors invested in making the world a better place. The world doesn't only exist in the sprawling cities with skyscrapers and traffic. I don't know how to tell you this so that you'll believe it, but Waseca inherently has importance because of the people who live and love here.